الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا إلى يوم الدين أما بعد. Today we'll talk about Asma Bint Umays al-Khathamiyya. This lady was married to Ja'far bin Abi Talib, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's cousin. Then when he died, she was married to Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu arda. Then Abu Bakr wrote in his will that this lady is to take care of his washing when he died. Then she married Ali radiallahu anhu arda. So you could just imagine what knowledge this lady would have and how great this lady was radiallahu anhu arda. She embraced Islam before Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam entered the dar, or the place of meetings of Dar al-Arqam la bil-Arqam. You know, when Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was in Mecca, he had this place of meeting, which is called Dar al-Arqam la bil-Arqam. And usually the Muslims at that time, very few, in only one of the houses could accommodate all of them. That was at the start of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's message. She embraced Islam before Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam entered that house and gathered Muslims around him to give them and teach them about Islam. In other words, she was of the first Muslims to embrace Islam. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praised those who go first. I mean, it's just like human beings' nature. If you support me at first, it's not like someone who support me later. Those are the same support, but the first ones are not like the ones to come after. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala distinguishes between those who spent before the conquer of Mecca and those who spent after the conquer of Mecca. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that. Also, those who are the pioneers of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's companions, called the Sabiqeen, the four predecessors. Now, those four ones, the masters, like Abu Bakr, Zubayr, Uthman, Ali, of the first ones to embrace Islam. But also we have people to come later, but they also contributed a lot. Like Umar bin Khattab radiallahu anhu arda. He embraced Islam on the 5th year of Bi'tha, after 5 years. Hamza, after 5 years. But how much did they put of effort to make themselves also as of the pioneers? A lot. This lady radiallahu anha ardaha was of the first ones to embrace Islam, with her husband Ja'far ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu ardaha, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's cousin. She married to Ja'far radiallahu anhu ardaah. And of course, as a believer in Mecca, they were persecuted, both of them, the wife and the husband. So as a way of easing the restrictions upon them, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told the Sahaba, those who are able to move, you could go. And amongst them was Uthman ibn Affan, who was married to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's daughter, Ruqayya. They moved to Abyssinia, to Ethiopia. Ja'far ibn Abi Talib also moved. Now Ja'far ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu arda was the spokesperson of the Muslims in Abyssinia. So whenever they would have any problem, Ja'far will be talking radiallahu anhu arda. Not because he's the most knowledgeable, but Arabs have this tendency. The ones who's very near to the source, very near in blood, will be most taken from. And Ja'far is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's cousin. So that's one of the reasons. Ja'far is very well known, very great companion. Radiallahu anhu. Now, in Abyssinia, she stayed there, of course, with all the other ladies who went with their husbands to flee from the persecution of Quraysh. And anywhere in the world where Muslims are persecuted, they are allowed to move to another place. When she moved, radiallahu anha wa ardaha, her husband gained the respect and also the support and honor of others, radiallahu anhu wa ardaha. And he was very close to An-Najashi, or Angus in English, the king of Abyssinia. Very close to him. And subhanAllah, was able to convince him with Islam, and he embraced Islam. By his manners, his truthfulness, and also by respecting others. He respected An-Najashi radiallahu anhu. And then Najashi embraced Islam. One day, An-Najashi had a boy. At the same day, a newborn baby boy. At the same day, Asma Bint Umays, Ja'far's wife, had also a boy. And then Najashi sent for Ja'far. And he said to Ja'far, "What did you name your boy?" He said, "Abdullah." Then Najashi said, "I'll name him also Abdullah." So now, he sent actually the actual child to Ja'far radiallahu anhu. Now this child is to be breastfed by Asma Bint Umays radiallahu anhu for a while. She breastfed him for a while. That's why all the Abyssinians used to respect Asma radiallahu anha, because she is the mother of the son of the king. She's the mother of the king when Asma died, when Najashi died. And she used to be very well respected by them. It was reported by some of the Sahaba that they do honor Asma radiallahu anha. Now, after the conquer of Khaybar, and when Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam almost settled in Medina, the people of Quraysh stopped coming to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to fight him, because on the 6th year of Hijrah there was a treaty between Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the people of Mecca. This treaty was very important. It gave Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam a chance to spread Islam. And by the way, Islam will spread if there is peace between people, and no barriers between people to come to Islam, no preset minds, no stereotypes about Islam. And I remember Shaykh al-Ghazali rahimahullah, the Egyptian, he said, Islam is the most successful case in court, but the solicitors, us, are very bad. That's where he said we are failing the case, but the case is very successful. It should be winning, but we are failing the case. And look at around you, and you will find within yourself and within around you that we are truly and genuinely, whether intentionally or not intentionally, failing our religion. Now, after easing the restrictions of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's companions in Abyssinia started coming, and Ja'far radiallahu anhu and his wife Asma bint Umays came to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was so delighted with Ja'far's coming. He said, "I don't know what to be delighted with, whether the conquer of Khaybar or the coming of Ja'far." Asma radiallahu anha wa ardaha, when she came, she was tough, and she's still young at that time. Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu wa ardaha is also tough. And one day he teased her. Jokingly he said to her, "Asma, you, the Abyssinian," and she's not Abyssinian. She said, "Ya Habashiyya." And then she said to him, "Yes, what do you say?" He said to them, "Well, we came to Medina before you. We preceded you in that, away from you." Now, and sometimes when you are talking to someone, Umar is older than her, radiallahu anha wa ardaha, but she needed to respond, of course, in a very gentle and respectful way. She said to him, yes, you were with Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's true. You were with Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who feeds the hungry people of yours. Also, we were with Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who teaches the ignorance of yours. Also, you were with Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, He's almost looking after you, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But us, we are very, very far away from Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. People are just driving us away from their lands. And she said, Wallahi, I'll mention this to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then there are many narrations around that, but she mentioned it to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, well, Asma, people might have with me one hijrah, but you have two. You have two. One when you went to Abyssinia, and the other one when you came to me. And he said, the first one is that you went to Al-Najashi. The second one is when you did the hijrah to me. That's what Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. She was very satisfied. Radiallahu anha wa ardaha. And never ever would someone mention to her that you did not do the hijrah. Now, when Ja'far radiallahu anhu wa ardaha arrived, almost a few months, and then Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam sent him in an expedition. This expedition is one of the most important ones in the history of Islam. That was the battle of Mu'tah. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the one who leads the battle is Zayd bin Haritha, then Ja'far, then Abdullah ibn Rawah. Now, and then the army left, about 3,000. When the army left, the Jews said to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we know that if any prophet names leaders, they will be killed. Then he said, well, that's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's destiny. Khalas, we can't change it. Now, during that battle, of course, Ja'far radiallahu anhu arda left. And he got killed in that battle. A very well-known battle when Khalid bin Walid radiallahu anhu arda, who was only 2 months Muslim, took the leadership and then brought the army back. 4,000 or 3,000 against 200,000. There's no balance. But they still could retreat without being killed. Now, Asma radiallahu anha wa ardaha, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam came to them with the news, when Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam knew, away before the coming of the news, that Ja'far is killed. She said, when Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam entered, I saw the tears in Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's eyes. And I said to him, I mean, this is being smart. She said to him, Ya Rasulullah, did anything brought to your attention about Ja'far? Any new news about Ja'far? Did anything wrong happen to him? Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, yes. Today he got killed. And then she said, me and the children, we started to cry. So Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam didn't say to them that much. He left Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because when you see someone crying, especially when you tell them the news of someone died, you can't just just shut your mouth. You can't say that. Let them release their emotions. It is just like there are different ways of releasing your emotions. It could be by crying, by running, by shouting, and some people by punching. It's just like there are different ways of releasing their emotions. So Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam let her release her emotions, and he told them the sunnah of if someone died, what do you do? He said to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, make food for Ja'far's family because they are busy. And this is the sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If someone died, we, the neighbors, the relatives, the friends, make food for them. Not they make food for us. We make food for them because they are busy. They're supposed to be very, very sad. No, they can't even cook. It's difficult for them. On the contrary, you see people doing food for others, or the dead person, and the others, some other country, like my place, they bring food for them. It's just like food for a wedding party. So no extremes. Food of something that shows humbleness and something that could feed them, not to show that there's a wedding party. That's why, unfortunately, when we go to wedding parties or when we go to to funerals. The only distinction is people looking humble and not full suits. And there's no white there, but you could see them, mashallah, almost celebrating, especially with food. Yes, if you want to give it for the poor people, for that person, that's all right. But don't be extravagant. Don't be extravagant. And it becomes very, very bad when you are spending from the money of the dead person without the permission of the inheritors. You should tell them, this is from your fathers. I'm spending from them. Now, so he died, radiallahu anhu wa ardah. And Asma radiallahu anha wa ardaha, she said, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam saw me crying. And then, of course, after releasing their emotions, then Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to her, why are you crying? Do you fear on Ja'far? Do you fear that something bad would happen to Ja'far? Or do you fear that something bad could happen to the children? She didn't say anything. Then Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, don't fear. The children, I'll be their guardian in this life and the hereafter. And then he made dua for them, for the children of Ja'far radiallahu anhu. This lady radiallahu anha was very, very patient. After that, she was very patient. Of course, crying in a way that it's not like shouting, tearing the clothes, etc. She was doing it just like anyone would have any bad news of it. And she became very patient. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sometimes would test us to be patient or not to be patient. And it's really a test. If you're giving a news or seeing something, it is a test for you and for us, whether to be patient or not to be patient. Now, she was patient, radiallahu anha wa ardaha, because when you have any calamity, you say, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. All of us are to Allah, and to Allah we are returning. Now, while she was sitting there, Ibn Abbas narrated that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, one day, he was sitting, and Asma was sitting. And then Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said to Asma, Asma, this is Ja'far with Jibreel and Mikael. They're now passing by. And they told me, that's Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam telling her, they told me that he fought against the disbelievers at that such and such date, against such and such number, and he's now saying to you, salam, respond to him. And she responded, radiallahu anha wa ardaha. Of course, she could not see the angels, but Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam could see, and told her that. Now, after that, radiallahu anha wa ardaha, she stayed a widow, and then a gentleman very close to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam asked her hand. That was Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam's best friend, Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu wa ardaha. She accepted Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu wa ardaha, and she married Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu wa ardaha. Now, at the farewell pilgrimage, Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu wa ardaha took her with him, and she was pregnant. And by the way, during those times, they don't like ladies nowadays, especially in the Middle East. Pregnant means sitting, not doing anything. They move, they go, they come, etc. She went with him to the pilgrimage, to the farewell pilgrimage, and one day left Medina and about to come to the Hulayfa where they put the ihram, she gave birth. Now, when she gave birth, Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu wa ardaah asked Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, what should we do? Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, all right, ask her to do full shower, ghusl, and to say the words that she is doing Hajj, and to go with you. So when she arrives, by the time she arrives in Mecca, etc., etc., she does everything there, but she doesn't go to the Haram. when she is in Mecca, after almost 40 days, when she is clean, she could do the tawaf, etc., etc. But she could perform the other things, like going to Arafat, etc., and staying with them, just like a normal Hajj, without, of course, praying. Okay? Now, she went with them, radiallahu anha. Now, one day, this lady, radiallahu anha, wasn't like very tough with her husband. They used to joke and talk to each other, radiallahu anhu. And she used also to joke with Abu Bakr, radiallahu anhu. One day, Abu Bakr, radiallahu anhu, fast today. Abu Bakr, radiallahu anhu, said to her, you have to fast today. And she said, only there is just a few minutes and Maghrib will start. And he said, Wallahi, you have to fast. That was just like teasing each other. And then she said, no, I won't fast. It was just like the end of the day. She said, no, and then she said, I want to break your oath. She ate something. It was, of course, a joke between him and her, radiallahu anhu. And it wasn't like the confirmed one. It was just like that he wanted to confirm for her to do it, not that, to actually do the actual oath or vow. When Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu was about to die, he called her and he said to her, you should do the washing for me. You should wash me when I die. She said, I can't. He said, no, you can. Look at him. He's telling her to wash him, radiallahu anhu, and he's writing it in the will to wash Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, Asma, his wife. And then she said, I can't. He said, well, Abdul Rahman, my son, will assist you. Now, when he died, radiallahu anhu, of course, she washed him, radiallahu anhu, and then Umar radiallahu anhu led the prayer on Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. Then Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu is buried next to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, just under Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam's chest, not to be parallel to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, showing the respect to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, as mentioned in Tabaqat al-Muhaddithin. When Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu was about to die, Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu selected Umar radiallahu anhu. Asma said, one day, a group of the Ansar came to Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, because Abu Bakr went on the minbar and told everyone that Umar will be my successor. Do you have any problem? Anyone's complaining? They respected Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, and they know Umar radiallahu anhu. So a group of the Muhajirin came to Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, and then they said to Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, and he's very sick. He said, we know that you now want to make Umar successor. Now this is Asma reporting to us, radiallahu anhu. And they said that you know that before, he's not now the Amir, he's not now Amir al-Mu'mineen, and he's very tough, and he's very strict on us. How about when he gets some authority? What do you think will happen? They were afraid, radiallahu anhum. And then they said, if he gets no authority, what happens? He'll be tougher, stricter, and he'll just push to the limits. And then they asked him a very, very important question. Very important, that will withdraw Abu Bakr's support to Umar. They said to him, what will you say to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when you meet him? That's very, very important question. That you've chosen someone very tough, etc., etc., on your people. Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu said, he was lying down because he was sick. He said, just assist me to sit down. He sat down, radiallahu anhu. And then he said to them, do you think that when you say What do you say to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? I'll fear that. I'll say to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that when I left, I made my successor the best that I know of to succeed me. And then he didn't say to them anything. In other words, he chose for them, radiallahu anhu wa ardah, the best in everything. Another delegation, or other people, when they asked Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu wa ardah, said he's tough, he's this, he said when he gets the authority, he'll be very lenient with you. I love him to be lenient with you, but stricter on the haqq, on the truth. Now, Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu wa ardah died. When Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu wa ardah died, this lady radiallahu anha wa ardaha, widow again. Then she married to whom? To Ali radiallahu anhu wa ardaha. Now, when she was married to Ja'far radiallahu anhu wa ardaha, she gave birth of 3 children to Ja'far radiallahu anhu. Abdullah, Muhammad, and Awan. And then she gave birth to also, she gave birth for Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu with Muhammad. For Ali, she gave birth of Yahya and Awan, another one. After marrying to Ali radiallahu anhu ardah, 2 of her sons, everyone, the child of Abu Bakr and the child of Ja'far, everyone said, I'm better than you, in front of her. And Ali was there, radiallahu anhu. Muhammad, the son of Abu Bakr, said, I'm the son of Abu Bakr. And Muhammad bin Ja'far said, I'm the son of Ja'far. And Ja'far and Abu Bakr are great of the Sahaba. And everyone started to argue with each other. And everyone said, I am generous than you, just better than you, and such and such. So they started to argue. And Ali was there. Then Ali said to Asma radiallahu anha wa ardaha, be the judge between your 2 children. Just be the judge. And then she said radiallahu anha wa ardaha, by the way, when you respond, and you just respond bluntly or in a way that makes others angry with you, that's not the good way of responding. We respond in a way that makes others understand what do you want and make them accept it. Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, one day he was talking about those who will enter paradise without any judgment, without any reckoning. Ukasha bin Muhsin radiallahu anhu said to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so he could make me one of them. Then Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, you are one of them. Then another man came to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and he said to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, ask Allah to make me one of them. What do you think you should say? You're not one of them? That's against the person you had appeared. Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, well, Ukasha came first. Ukasha came first. So do you think, is it fair for the second person to say, why not me? No, well, he came first, that's it. That's why Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when he talks to his Sahaba sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he gives them in a very excellent way of responding to them. One day, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam talked to the Sahaba. And then he said, I remembered my brothers. Then the Sahaba said to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, we are your brothers. He said, no, you are my Sahaba, my companions. But my brothers will be those who would come later, who did not see me, who will not see me, and who will love to see me even if they spend everything they have. These are my brothers. And in responding to anyone, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he will respond to the person in a way that makes him happy. Or sometimes he doesn't respond. Abu Sufyan, when Abu Sufyan was a disbeliever, he came to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam one day after they broke the treaty with Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. When he came to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, before the coming of Abu Sufyan, he said, Abu Sufyan will come now and will ask the extension of the truce between us and them. It was 10 years truce between Muhammad ﷺ and the people of Mecca. And only after months they broke the treaty. They killed the allies of Muhammad ﷺ. Muhammad ﷺ told him that Abu Sufyan will come and ask the extension. So he came to ask the extension and confirm it. Muhammad ﷺ did not say anything to him. Nothing. He spoke with Muhammad ﷺ. He didn't, nothing. Because a word to say to the person might make the person very angry. Or may take the word. That's why when the word goes from you, it actually controls you. When it's inside, you control it. That's why if you promise someone to do something, that's it. If you say, I will do this for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you have a vow for that, that's it. You have to, but if you do it without saying it, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. That is why Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, whenever he responds the best way. One of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's cousin, Abu Sufyan bin Harith, they came to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam before the conquer of Mecca. Abu Sufyan bin Harith, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's cousin, is different from Abu Sufyan bin Harith. Now this man, he's Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's cousin. But Muhammad was angry with him when he came before the conquer of Mecca, just near Medina. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not even give anything to him. He didn't say anything. Then Salama said, don't make the closest to you the worst. Just talk to them. Then Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu ardah said to Abu Sufyan, his cousin as well, he said to him, when you come to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, say to him what the brothers of Yusuf said to their brother, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you favor over us. Then what did Yusuf say? He said, may Allah forgive you. So that he came to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then he said to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, قَدْ أَثَرَكَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْنَا. Allah has given you favor over us. Then Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what did he say? He didn't want to. He did not want to be less than Yusuf alayhi salam. He said, لا تثريب عليكم اليوم. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive you. Immediately. Now in responding to that, back to the story of Asma radiallahu anha, she did not want to upset any of the children. Now Ja'far died, Abu Bakr died. If she praised someone over someone, it is difficult. And if she did not intervene, it is also difficult. It's her children. Then she said, radiallahu anha wa ardaha, I did not see any, because Ja'far died very young, any youngster of the Arabs like Ja'far. And I did not see, Abu Bakr died almost 63. I did not see any old man like Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu wa ardaha of the Arabs. Now both very happy. Radiallahu anhum wa ardahum. That's why using hikmah and using wisdom in responding to others is very, very important. Then she said, what did you leave for us? Ali radiallahu anhu said, what did you leave for us? If Abu Bakr is the best of the old, and Ja'far is the best of the youngsters, or the young, what have you left for us? Then he said to her also, if you said more than that, I'll hate you. If you said different, I'll hate you. I mean, I wouldn't like you, he said, in other words. And then he said to her, what do you think of me? She said, well, you could be worse of the three. It's just like teasing him, radiallahu anhu. Now, amazingly, when Ali radiallahu anhu was about to marry Fatima radiallahu anha ardaha, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's daughter, of course, before the marriage of Ali radiallahu anha ardaha to this lady, to Asma Bint Umays. She said, I was there preparing Fatima radiallahu anha ardaha. And then she said, I was sitting and staying, putting my hijab, etc. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam came and he started making dua for Ali and for Fatima. And then he said he saw something inside the room. And then he said, Muhammad ﷺ said, who's there? And then Asma said, Asma. And then he said, Asma? He said, Asma Bint Umays. Then Muhammad ﷺ said, did you come with Muhammad ﷺ's daughter? She said, yes, I came for Muhammad ﷺ's daughter. Just like an honor and favor to Muhammad ﷺ. Then Muhammad ﷺ started with his hands making dua for this lady radiallahu anha, Asma bint Umays, to an extent that she said, after that dua, that's the best thing that I hope that will make me enter paradise. The dua of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Especially in places where you need to make dua, you make dua. And I know some people when they say to us, make dua for us, people just get slack not even to make it. You just make dua for them. And make it with your heart. You don't lose anything, by the way. You get benefit from that. You get, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say, and to you the same. So Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did dua for this lady radiallahu anha arda. And then after that, she said, I left the room. One day, she was very, very experienced, by the way, in knowing the interpretation of dreams. One of the well-known ones of the Muslims and of the Sahaba of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When Umar radiallahu anhu was the Khalifa, he came on the minbar and he started telling people a dream. He said, last night I saw a dream. I saw a cock hitting me on my belly 3 times with his beak. And I don't know about this, but I asked Asma Bint Umays, that's on the minbar, he's telling everyone now. And then she said to him, radiallahu anhu Allah, she said to him, one of the non-Arabs will hit you 3 times. And then he said, this is what I also believe is the interpretation of the dream. And he said that some of my people, my people are asking me to make successors and make people to elect after me. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give the khilafah, the emir, to anyone Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants. However, I'll select for you 6 people that I know that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he died was very, very happy with them and very satisfied with. And also, they are known as the Shura of Umar radiallahu anhu. And he said, I will also select amongst them my son Abdullah, but not to be part of it, but to be just like a monitor there, to be there, to tell people what happened, but not to be the successor. Made it very clear radiallahu anhu. And he said, if it's good and the family of Umar will take from it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give it to them. And if it's not good, and he said, if it's good and the people, the family of Umar will take from it, well, I've taken from it, alhamdulillah. And if it's bad, and it's enough that Umar took from it, if the khilafah, being an emir, if it's bad, Umar is enough. If it's good, Umar is enough. Now, and then he said, of course he knew that he will be killed, radiallahu anhu arda, Umar radiallahu anhu arda. Then he selected the Sahaba. The Sahaba were Ali bin Abi Talib, Uthman bin Affan, Zubair bin Awam, Talha bin Ubaidillah, Abdul Rahman bin Auf. And if you could see, they are of the Mubashirin, the part of the 10 Mubashirin that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told about them. And of course, when they said, they selected Uthman radiallahu anhu. Now, when Muslims were in Abyssinia, by the way, they of course integrated or almost mingled with the Abyssinians there. And they learned from them some things, or many things. One of the things that they learned from also is during the days of Umar radiallahu anhu, this lady radiallahu anhu, she knew that ladies, when they are carried to the graveyard, it's really difficult. Now, one of the ladies were almost, some of her body were uncovered when they were burying her radiallahu anhu. Now she suggested something. She said, I saw people in Habasha, they're doing a coffin. And during that way, it's just like, if you see the ladder, it's just similar to it, where they put the body on top of it and they carry it. Just like the ambulance's stretcher. It's just similar to it. So she said, why don't I make for you something which is similar to the ones that is being done in Abyssinia? And I think it's good. So people are carrying the ladder itself, not the person, which makes it easy. And then Umar radiallahu anhu arda said, when he saw it, he said, well, make someone like this. Make also for others, so we'll have some more. And she did radiallahu anha ardaha. And then he said, Umar radiallahu anhu, that this is good for the ladies, being shy. Even if she died, we also carry that she is shy, to carry her through, away from her, distant from her. Now, and by this she was using the benefits that she got from others. And this is what we could do as Muslims. Benefit something, use it for us, for the Muslims, and for the benefit of others as well. But if we, unfortunately, as Muslims are doing, they use, especially of nowadays, in the Middle East specifically, and all over the world, they use the worst thing and they select it as the best thing to use. Look at this lady radiallahu anha, something that we could think of. And subhanAllah, she used it for the benefit of the Muslim, and still being used, by the way, till nowadays. She suggested that radiallahu anha. And this is the way that we get benefit from others. This lady radiallahu anha ardaha did wash almost all the daughters of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam when they died, because we know that all of them died before Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's death, except Fatima, who died 6 months later of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's death. She washed Fatima radiallahu anha ardaha, also Kulthum, and also she washed Safiya, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's auntie. She was very well known for that. And by the way, those who are given the ability to do that, it's a sunnah that they do it. And those who cannot do it, at least come inside and see how do they do it. It's good to train yourself, and subhanAllah, it's a very good lesson. Even if you just attend there, if they give you permission to do that. If you attend, help them with pouring water, or helping them in wrapping the dead person. Wallahi, it is a lesson by itself. There's no words needed. Now, also, this lady radiallahu anha ardaha, she came to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam one day. She said, she was talking to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam about the sons of Ja'far radiallahu anhu ardaha. And she said, people are moving away from Ja'far's children. I want you to ask for them. Maybe they have got this eye, or the evil eye, when it's casted on the person. And by the way, it's a very, very dangerous one. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he talked about it, he said, it's true that there could be an evil eye on the person. And in Arabic it's called al-ayn. In English, the interpretation that I come across is the evil eye, where if the person looked at you and he had that devilish way of removing or doing some harm to the person, they will harm the person. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, yes, it is right. You could kill a person and even kill an animal. So what if that happened? What do? We do istirqa. We read the Quran, the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala if we don't know who did that. But if we know who did that, we ask the person. And this is, by the way, that's why when we see anything as Muslims, we say, MashaAllah. So we just cast devil from our side. Especially those who got that sharp, not sharp eye, I would say, But that evil desire, sometimes they don't know of it. They might do something to their own children, to their own relatives, and they don't know. That's why Muhammad ﷺ said, if you see anything and your nafs, your soul likes that thing, you say, MashaAllah, Tabarakallah. That's what Muhammad ﷺ is saying. Because in the front of him one day, one of the Sahaba fell in a coma. And then the Sahaba came to Muhammad ﷺ. They said, such and such person, the son of so and so, is about to die. He said, what happened? He said he was doing shower, he was having shower, radiallahu anhu arda, and then someone looked at his body from a spot from his body, and he said, what a nice body. Now, of course, looking at his private parts. And then the person, straight away. Then Muhammad ﷺ said, why do you intentionally want to harm your own brothers? When you see something that you really like, you say, Tabarakallah, MashaAllah. Then he asked him, ask this person to have wudu, and from the wudu you put on the person. You let the person have almost a shower from the leftover and the drops of the wudu of that person. And also to wash especially the sleeves of the person. And sometimes you go and ask him to give you something of his own. For example, maybe even if the underwear, especially if the person is sick, they do anything of the underwear and they wash it, and the water that they wash it with, without any detergents with it, they have a shower. And wallahi, with my own eyes, I've seen this. A person who was affected by it, very relative of mine, and subhanallah, she said, as if when I put the water on top of me, as if just like someone broke my back, and she just walked. Subhanallah. That happened a lot. If the person is known, alhamdulillah. If the person is not known, we keep by reading the Quran. And inshallah one day we'll continue talking about this, the ruqya, or using the Quran. And she did, radiallahu anha wa ardaha. Now, she narrated a hadith from Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. One of the hadith that she narrated about Ali radiallahu anhu wa ardaha, she said, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said to Ali radiallahu anhu wa ardaha, you are to me just like Moses, Harun, or Aaron to Moses. But there's no prophet after me. How close Ali radiallahu anhu wa ardaha to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And also she said of her hadith that she narrated radiallahu anha wa ardaha, she said Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said to her, especially when she had the calamity when Ja'far died radiallahu anhu wa ardaha, he said to her, say, Allahu Rabbi la ushriku bihi shay'a. This hadith is narrated by Abu Dawud, Ibn Majah and others. She said, say Allah is Rabbi and I don't make partner with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah is Rabbi and I don't make partner with him. Allahu Rabbi la ushriku bihi shay'a. This is a way of removing ourselves from the disaster. This lady has many virtues radiallahu anha wa ardaha. It's enough to know that she was radiallahu anha wa ardaha the first one to give birth to a baby born in Abyssinia, and the first one also to give birth to someone in Abyssinia from the Muslims and to be named Abdullah radiallahu anhu wa ardaha. And she was also the first one to suggest to use the nash, the one that we carry on, the stretcher that we carry on the dead persons. And she was also the first ones of the Arab Muslims to breastfeed one of the sons of a king at that point of time. She continued to live radiallahu anhu wa ardaha even after the death of Ali radiallahu anhu wa ardaha. She died at the year 60 of Hijrah, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And by the end of this story of magnificent lady radiallahu anha wa ardaha, Asma Bint Umays, we learned a lot through her life with Ja'far, Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu wa ardaha, and also the narrations that she narrated of Umar radiallahu anhu wa ardaha, and the interpretation of dreams that she did interpret for Umar radiallahu anhu wa ardaha and for the other Sahaba. And then also with Ali radiallahu anhu wa ardaha. She had many, many instances with Ali radiallahu anhu. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless this lady and bless all of us.